What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as Zcash to BTC. We will also be looking at that article that I forgot to show you guys yesterday. I did mention it in yesterday's video, but forgot to actually go over it with you. So we will also be looking at that, as well as obviously the charts and the current coin market cap. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave that giant thumbs up, and let's jump right into today's video. So before we jump into the current coin market cap, this is the article I wanted to present to you guys. This is by News BTC, talking about how Litecoin may soon surge despite selling pressure and recent dusting attack. So what does this mean? So Litecoin has been wrapped in negative sentiment as of late, which has primarily been rooted its lackluster price action following its recent halving event and recent dusting attack that impacted nearly 300,000 Litecoin addresses on Binance. Despite the dwindling optimism surrounding Litecoin, analysts are now cautiously noting that crypto may be nearing a bedrock support level that could be followed by a shift in its recent downtrend. So that's kind of what we were talking about. This is a nicer way to, explain it. A bedrock support level, indicating ones that we did discover and go over yesterday and the days before. So that does come into play. It says Litecoin price plummets 25%. As we know, since the halving, Litecoin has fell quite significantly. Since early August halving event, which has widely viewed as being a bullish catalyst, the crypto has actually dropped nearly 25, which marks a very disappointing reaction to an event that many people were hoping would, shoot up this price and the currency. But there are some other things that I do want to discuss with you guys. So here's a good quote that I wanted to read out. This is by Loma, a popular crypto analyst on Twitter, explained in a tweet from yesterday that despite the conflicting opinions that are held about Litecoin, he believes it is currently trading just above bedrock support level, which was stated. And today's price surge may validate this notion. Here's what he said. Humor me if you will. Let us suggest for a moment that Litecoin is not, in fact, a scam. Let us assume that somehow, inconceivably, crypto Twitter is wrong for the first time. An objective chart showing Litecoin on bedrock support in a falling wedge with maximum point of opportunity. As you can see by his post, you can see where he is showing support. He has drawn a sideways channel where you can see numerous points of contact where it does semi-indicate that this could be a rock bottom bedrock support level, indicating that we could start to retrace as we've seen every single time in the past testing this. This is a double bottom indicating major runs, and now you can see right there we had another swing, and here we are for a potentially fourth swing at that. So we're keeping a very close eye on the fact that this may shoot the coin. Recently, Litecoin wallets and popular crypto exchange Binance faced a widespread dusting attack, which scammers sent a tiny amount of Litecoin, known as the dust, to hundreds of thousands of wallets in an effort to gain info about the end user's data. Subsequently, these scammers then used this information to try to extort the wallet by owners by using the data they have about the wallets, but the attack is only effective if the user transfers the dust that they received, which they didn't. So you can see right here, the recent Litecoin dusting attack on Binance affected 300,000 addresses during our analysis. We also uncovered a similar large-scale attack in April. Very interesting. This is obviously much bigger. So with all that information, set, now I do want to move on over to the chartings and see what exactly we're referring to. So obviously he does have some other, areas of support here on Bitcoin. Now he does have a different chart that we saw. I think it's right here where we saw this double bottom before we shot back up. And we are in a notion right here where we do see a bunch of trading. And what's interesting to note is we do have numerous support areas. He is calling this as the support. I just want to make this clear for you guys. You can see right here he has resistance here. Then we have a previous retest. We have the double bottom probably or potentially. Then we have this swing that we saw right here where we tested bottom support. They're using this as the support zone, which you can continue to use. There's nothing wrong with that. What I'm referring to is this uptrend right here. So there's obviously tons of analysts that can figure out and discuss other patterns. I'm looking at this uptrend right here, which cuts right through the price. You can see numerous points of resistance, support, and then support again as we continue to swing up to higher levels. You'll notice we acted very nicely and we bounced off at a very positive upswing that is causing the price to move up higher. Now we are seeing some retracement right now. We do have plenty of room trading at 50 on the RSI to be to continuously move up to these higher levels, potentially retesting what I think is going to be its all-time high of 2019, $13,000 to $14,000, which was the all-time high that we got to before ultimately pulling back down, as you can see here. So with this volume moving in, and like I said to you guys prior, we do plan on seeing there's a couple things we can do. We can either trade on like this, something a little bit nicer to look at, something like this, or we could immediately start to move right back up and then, potentially retracing back down as we hit resistance up here at the top. So I do see numerous reasons of pullback, numerous reasons of retracement, but for the most part, I do like this bottom support as we push the coin up to higher levels. You can see that does ultimately move and retrace back into Litecoin, that volume. We are having some issues in this area right now. Nothing to be too worried about, but we do see sideways trading. We are seeing movement sideways. We do have a bunch of resistance that we do have to, break through. We do have a resistance at $90 as well as $80. The $80 and $90 and $100 regions on Litecoin all seem to be a pretty strong resistance for this crypto, but we do plan ultimately on moving back up and retesting the high-low minimum moving averages. Litecoin is practically rock bottom. It has fallen completely. All volume has been sucked out, as well as the price pretty much just flatlining out on the relative strength indicator, only trading at around 35, which gives us plenty of room to trade higher. So within a matter of time, I do believe we should get enough volume to ultimately push us back up to higher levels. As you can see on the weekly, right here, we are now once again retesting bottom support, retesting this bottom high-low minimum moving average, which is the green band, and you can see we've pretty much climbed all the way back down to this extremely strong support. So not only was what's his name, Loma, or I think Luna, I think it was Loma, correct in regards to, it's Loma, in regards to Bitcoin bottoming out. But if we look at Litecoin also looks to find some sort of rock bottom support. So with that in mind, we should start to see movement and swings back upwards. We could even hit up to 110 now that I'm looking at this. We do have resistance at 110, so we can easily blast from that $75 region we're at right now all the way up to $110 within, the next couple of weeks, ending, 2019 on an actually really good note. We have still September, October, November, December, 4 months of consolidation, 4 months of bullish moves, bearish moves. So who knows what's at stake, but there is definitely potential. The market is very undervalued for Litecoin and Bitcoin, and we should start to swing upwards. Now, looking at Ethereum, you'll notice Ethereum facing a little bit of resistance on its recent downtrend. You can see right here we are in a symmetrical triangle. And I do think we kind of did close outside of here, so I would like to see where today closes, whether or not we're going to break down lower, trade in here, or if we're going to start to swing up higher and retest. Once again, it's $224 resistance, and I know based on all of these charts, the high-low MMA is definitely a major key tool that I like to use because we always swing back up to here and retest here. So even buying in at such low levels like this will ultimately lead to swings up to, supports as high as $225. Even higher than that at $240. We are keeping a close eye on Ethereum as well. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum both look really good, showing moves that could foreshadow Litecoin to do the exact same thing. You can also see we're quite outside of our high-low minimum moving averages, so we may actually swing up and get right back into here, with a potential cap to end 2019 way over $340. So definitely some great bounce and moves and potential for the crypto to do that. All we really need now is some volume, some good news, and we should see the price reflect the market. So lastly, I do just want to check out Zcash, and we'll wrap up today's episode. We did look at all the other cryptos. They all look good. But as for Zcash, another coin that I'd like to discuss, so while all these bigger coins are getting, looked at, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, we kind of fall short on the altcoins. So Zcash was one for those of you who are new to the channel that we wanted to look at, and I wanted to give you my opinion. Coins like this are very hard to trade. Zcash on its weekly doesn't really have much movement on Zcash to Bitcoin on Binance because of the fact that it's such a new crypto created during that bullish move. You can see right here, pretty much just setting all-time lows, not yet at its lowest low, but it does look like it's heading there soon. Extremely oversold on its weekly RSI, gives us plenty of room. It's an extremely undervalued coin. There just really has not been that much hype and talk about a coin like Zcash to really indicate any sort of volume to move into this coin. So it's definitely interesting. Are there any other cryptos you guys would like to hear about or notice? You can also see Zcash on its daily charts very nicely having issues with its targets, high-low MMA, retesting this numerous times, but this does give you reason to believe that we always go back to retest the high-low MMA, which can be an opportunity to make some money. But otherwise, guys, that's going to sum up today's episode. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.